Good day everyone, Lab here, and welcome once more to the Arknights EN ranking. However, as you might have noticed from the title, there will be no more mistuned voices in the rank. I created this category not as an insult to the work done by the many voice actors and their translating teams, but rather as an encouragement to improve their craft, delivering a performance that can stand on its own as the voice of our beloved operators. Over time, improvements happened, tones were corrected, personalities were shown, and dedication shown through their voices, leading to this conclusion. We now bid farewell to one half of these videos, as an acknowledgement of the hard work done by all the men and women giving their best in the recording booth. But don't just think you can take it easy now. If I were to get what I believe to be a mistuned performance once more, I will be sure to point it out as a dishonorable mention. So be careful, don't go sleeping on your laurels just because you've reached a high note. Improvements can always be made. Regardless, I am proud to announce that this is the first video without a single mistuned number in the whole list. Not even as a mention. With that out of the way, let us start. These are the top 10 best voices in Arknights. 7th batch. A quick recap for those who somehow managed to get to this video without watching the others. In these videos, I do not look for the voices to sound the same as those in GP. Instead, I want to feel the character in their performance. This may sound simple enough, but it has its own charm, as we can see with our first entry, this being...
Привет, Doctor. You hungry? I heard your stomach growling from a mile away. It sounded like thunder. Zima says she'll protect me, but I'm not a baby. Me and my shield kept everyone safe before we made it here. It's not a shield, it's a vault door? No, it isn't. I can't believe you're calling it that. I miss my Bennetts, and I do want to find them. I think about them all the time. But if I leave now, I don't think I could do anything by myself. So, Doctor, could you please teach me how to fight? I don't want everyone to think of me as some kind of kitchen girl. Doctor, I know my food tastes great, but don't eat too much of it. You'll get fat.
A very good balance between accent and energy. Not too intrusive, neither easy to ignore. Regarding personality, it's a good interpretation, showing her cheery and bubbly self. However, if there is something missing, it's her more perturbed side. Christina V, however, has no sign of it, even when she's actually talking about said stuff. So while it is a good interpretation, I wouldn't say it captures all there is of the character, leaving her as the starting number on this list. But look at it this way, suppose wife made it into the list.
Don't stay cooped up in your office all the time, Docky. Why don't you come down to the mines with me one of these days? First, you check construction blueprints ahead of time. Second, you don't disrupt our work without a good reason. Third, you never ever fall behind on your payments. That's the 3 principles Shauna's construction crew uses to decide on projects. No exceptions, Docky. Not even for Rhodes Island. A billy worker never sees the sun. That's what my friends in the mines always say. The darkness down there swallows everything. Work and life, past and future. I want to give people hope for the future, Docky. Give them better lives. Easy enough to say, but there's lots of work to do. You'll lend a hand, won't you, Docky? Hey, Docky. Here, a mint for ya. Docky, can you hold this shield for me? Careful now, it's heavy. The inside there? That's concrete, baby!
Memes! And also hardworking, caring, and happy-go-lucky. A perfect fit. You can tell she's very enthusiastic about her work, as well as determined and driven. Not to mention, the little liberties taken by Danny Chambers improved the performance. If I place her at the 9th spot, it's because of how energetic this performance is. However, a vibrant voice is not everything, as we will hear in the next number.
Why do I keep my weapon right here? I said it before. You need a stable working environment. Anyone who wants to bother you will have to ask my little friend first. Were you the one commanding at Chernobog, Doctor? Then you also must have seen the state of things there. How are you able to sleep at night after all that? I can't get it out of my mind. I just can't. Those people, the civilians, their faces were so twisted. They looked just like the murderers who destroyed our city. They were the people my father and I were supposed to protect. Doctor, what is actually just in this world? What should I do? I just don't know. Oh, Doctor, are you thirsty? Come, let's find something to drink. Are you all right? Need something to perk you up? I've done well. No, I haven't. I've achieved nothing. I even fled my homeland. A girl like me never does good. Stop that. Why are you patting my head? There's no need for a promotion. Rhodes Island does enough for me. I have to take it? But, well, okay. Thank you.
At first I thought the accent was too heavy, but then I noticed that wasn't the case. She's just that tired. Mentally tired. Very fitting for her background. If anything, I will say it's an improvement, as she does sound like someone who came out of a battle zone. However, and in a reverse situation as with Gummy, there is this spark on her brighter side, as little as it is. This is important, as it shows how she's slowly coming out of her shell, per se, as seen in her few interactions with other operators. Thus, while a great job, it's still not enough to leave the 8th spot on this list.
You would like me to take care of your secretarial work? I can, but please do keep the amount of work under control. I used to write reports fairly often, but most don't find the contents of my reports very pleasant to read. The medicine in my earrings. It's not medicine. It's a perfume that I mixed myself. A highly concentrated perfume that can induce emotions that run opposite to hostility. It comes in handy in dangerous situations. As for the lower concentrated one that I have here, it's for alleviating car sickness. I tend to get carsick pretty badly. I once thought about opening a sundry shop, like my parents did. Once, I even had an agreement with the landlord. Then I had nightmares that entire night. Now? Much better. I'm even trying to help Instructor Durner. Oh, please don't tell anyone about this. Good morning. A dreamless night of sleep alleviates exhaustion the most. Don't you think?
At first I wouldn't call this performance stellar, as it is the typical emotionless character acting all robot-like. But that's the beauty of it. Christine Kate's voice perfectly depicts Mela Knight's stoic attitude as the fuck Kate it is, as well as shown the fear she's constantly feeling right beneath the surface. You see, Mela Knight is clearly a very traumatized individual, another one, and the way she found to work this out was to pretend what she is not and to keep people guessing. She might look cold and aloof up front, but in reality, she is just a frightened woman, literally fighting her own demons every time the railgun comes out. And this voice work perfectly shows this state of her, an interpretation worthy of the 7th spot.
You want to chat future op planning? You've come to the right person, Dr. Love. I'm the entire staffing brains of Glasgow. When we left the Glasgow gang behind, see, I thought we'd all be back in a jiffy. But here we are ages later and still on the go. Everything's changed. Vina, Hannah, spared, and especially me. Yeah, I might have changed most out of us. It might be easy for us to follow the leader, but you know what? While we go after Vina, who's Vina got to go after? I don't want to be behind her anymore, Doctor. I want to go with her, or take her along. That way, when she gets tired, at least she'll have my shoulder to rest on. Aye, someone's wide open. Oh, I could do some face painting on you, love. Got some good news to share, Doctor? 'Cause if you don't, let me tell you a joke. All right, Doctor. Fancy seeing you about.
Normally, I find voice works that distance themselves too much from the original hard to qualify. Yet I cannot fault Denise Hoy's interpretation, as I can feel her street smarts. Yet there is also this elegance to her. While the original is portrayed more as a gyaru, a popular subculture in Japanese society, known for their extravagant looks and energetic disposition, given to Morgan no doubt due to her animal base. If you know, you know. So I understand why the English interpretation had to find her niche by making use of British slang and a chill attitude. While it does fit the character, there is something that doesn't manage to click. I guess I don't know enough British slang to name their equivalent of a gyaru, and thus leaving her as number 6.
It is an honor to serve you, Doctor. Doctor, if you would like to know more about Chernobog, I may be able to provide a unique perspective. I was only a student, but you know, the student council president does interact with society at large in some ways. To hate the world on account of a tragedy is as short-sighted as loving the world over a comedy. Is it? Doctor, have you already decided how to handle all that you will soon face? And how should I? I'm still unsure. Doctor, is it easier to forget when you're fully grown? When I come of age, will I be able to forgive myself? Will becoming as mature as you allow me to finally deal with the misery in my heart? Another lovely day today. Doctor, it's great to see you.
Not as elegant as the original, yet I can feel her regrets and sadness. However, that slight lack of elegance fits her character all the more. Why? Because she's supposed to be a former noble. So it makes more sense to speak in a less strict way, yet the way she talks and pronounces words still tells you that she had a noble upbringing, that she knows how to make use of words, meaning that part is still there alongside the regrets, the pain, and her hopes for the future. A rather great interpretation by Elizabeth Maxwell, who managed to bring out Rosa's subtle suffering yet hard-working nature into the front. Not to mention that the energy is just right. Not too posh, neither too troll. A great depiction of someone working through their depression, and a great start to the top 5 of the list.
Excuse me. I've been waiting here for 2 hours. I've never had any friends. Surely no one wants a friend that they can't even notice, right? Doctor, you can leave the dangerous work to me. After all, my arts were made for that. I really want to cure my oropathy. But if it's cured, what's going to happen to my arts? If they're gone, will I still be of any use? Doctor's ignoring me. I don't like it. Thank you you for paying attention to me. I know it's your job, but it still makes me happy. Hello, Doctor.
Waifu Amumu? Jokes aside, this is a great interpretation. Managing to replicate Manticore's meek yet disturbing personality to a T. I know these kinds of high-pitched voices aren't for everyone, but the fact Haviland Stillwell still made use of it without overdoing it or underselling it speak volumes of her abilities as a voice actress. We can grasp how lonely Manticore is, but also how awkward she feels when having to deal with actual interaction beyond the established chain of command. You can tell she is desperate for attention, as in to be noticed, not like some narcissist on the net, but at the same time, you can feel her fixation to be needed, to be of use for others, not as a way to prove her worth, mind you, but to literally feel that others need her, that her existence is validated by a need. And that is not easy to pull. Because of this, I am glad to give Manticore the 4th spot on the list. If she doesn't go any higher, it is because the next 3 are top-notch, beginning with...
Can I have this printer that's written off? And my gosh, how could you dump that whole pile of paper in the shredder? You can still write on the back. See that electric cooker of mine? I made it out of an old heater. And my space heater there, I made it out of an old TV. And as for the TV here, I put that together from the parts of a broken bread maker. Where did I get this bread maker? Aha! I modded an electric cooker I scavenged. Ever since we were kids, if folks like us wanted to eat, we had to count on the scraps the snobs let slip from on high. Sadly, that's not enough to fill your stomach, so some folks end up stealing, naturally. That's not something anyone should do, I know. But if there was another way, why would you need to steal? Whatever it is, it can wait until tomorrow. There's unlimited steak at the canteen today. I'd better get over there right away. Haha, here! I grabbed you some tangerines from the canteen. No matter how busy you are, be sure to eat right, Doctor.
And this is the performance that really stands out once you ignore the accent. Really? A Mexican accent for a Minoan? That aside, he sounds like a very kind man who isn't afraid to tear electronics and people to shreds if he needs to. Very emotional but also passionate about his beliefs and his work. You can tell that Gabriel Romero focuses on presenting Humo's personality through his voice, showing he is friendly and hardworking, but also has a temper and a violent streak, which he doesn't mind hiding when needed. But also, you can also tell he's a bit of a dork, proudly showing his inventions as if it were an exhibition, and then trying to slip away to get unlimited stick. A perfect depiction of a gentle but dangerous giant. And the best third voice on this list.
Quenching the flames of war demands prolonged suffering. To ignite them, however, it takes naught but a lapse of thought. Doctor, a limitless future awaits you, just as it does for those children. Though I can neither let go of yesterday, nor look forward to tomorrow, I shall fight for you till my last drop of blood, so you may be part of that future. Don't lose focus. You must be alert at all times on Rhodes Island. All Ursus should take pride in their nation and their emperor. I, too, fought for Ursus once, but I don't have the passion driving me anymore. Time has robbed me of too much. The photograph inside my pocket watch? Ha ha! So you saw it. This is Neon, from when she was little. Isn't she adorable? She's not so quiet anymore, but she loves herself now, and that's all that matters. Live free, Doctor. That's my wish, even if it is trite. Would you like a candy? I still have some. But watch out for cavities.
It doesn't sound as commanding as the original, but then again, who can overcommand Sho Hayami? Still very kind and collected, which is very in line with his cool grandpa persona. You can tell this individual is talking from a place of experience and passion, as contained as it is. An old warrior, but not of the overly proud or bombastic kind, but the kind forged by battle and quenched by a treasure trove of life experiences. A terrific performance by Paul Hesberg, who brings Helagur to life with dignity and humility. Not to mention a panache for battle poetry.
A lash of blade, the flesh to flay. A thrust of whip, the sword to rip. A cleave of spear, the armor to tear. Decapitator, our sacrifices were not in vain.
A reluctant warrior who doesn't see the glamour of combat anymore, yet will not doubt to return to it if it is to protect the future of those he cares for. A great depiction of the great general and a great entry for the second place on this list. But if this is such a great performance, how could he lose the first spot? Well, for you see, he was the first place for a long time. But due to in real life events, I had to delay this video until now, which gave way to the newest batch of voices, from which one voice was found before time. And while I don't like to analyze voices before their proper release, said release is coming so soon that I decided to allow it for once. A decision I hope you will understand once you hear it for yourself. Now, without further ado, this is the best voice in Arknights 7th batch.
If I become your assistant, Closure won't be able to touch me anymore, yes? I'm aware of her extreme interest in me, but her planned modifications on my body are both ridiculous and unacceptable. They're an insult to a scientist, and I won't allow it even in my current form. Let's stop here for today, Doctor. I have to go over to Calcit's office. She must be needlessly burning the midnight oil again. A soul driven by her sheer sense of mission to trudge on for tens of thousands of years. Just to stop what exactly? It would be better for her to get more sleep. My wife, daughter, and the rest of my people are eternally resting in those sarcophagi, and will never wake up again. I've made many decisions, I'm well aware, but all I remember is that final dinner, where everyone bid me farewell and prayed that the subsequent odyssey would go smoothly. Doctor, are you free? I hope you might take me out for a walk. I've taken a photo of you, Doctor. You want to see it? Sorry, I've already saved it to my archives. How do you do, Doctor? Why would humanity grow horns and tails? This stage of biological evolution is past my parameters of understanding. I know tens of thousands of years have passed. Calcit has mentioned this countless times. I will need a bit more time to formulate my deduction. I'm not arrogant, but I am angry at your ignorance and lack of self-awareness. Angry at your self-righteousness, all of you. Yes, I've lost all my knowledge, so you can take this anger as merely a result of my calculations, and a very clear result at that. Doctor, don't look at me the same way you do Castle 3 and the others. They are very cute, but my robot body is just like your hood. Merely a sort of costume, a style. I know who I am, and thus you and I are more alike.
How did we got Dr. Mobius to join Rhodes Island? Jokes aside, because it was either between that one or a Crypt Keeper reference. This performance is so simple yet effective, I couldn't put it anywhere but the first place. Young Cassier manages to portray a man from another time in such a believable way, it makes me feel sorry for the poor robot, smart yet confused of this new world he found himself in. Despite all of this, he still keeps a helpful attitude, fitting for the man who literally sacrificed his life to give humanity a chance. As fleeting as it was. In his interactions, you can see it as this old man who has seen a lot, yet instead of acting all high and mighty, He tries to talk some sense into the youth he clearly doesn't fully understand, but wants to support all the same. The cranky grandpa who raised you all the way while aiding you all the same. This is Trevor Friston, the man with more hope than anyone in Terra, and the first place on this list. I always find it fascinating how the Ian Dobbin team manages to surpass JP Legends with legends of their own. Not to mention, this is the first time the top 3 spots have been claimed by male operators. Do you know how rare that is for an anime-inspired property? Let alone a gacha? But anyway, this is the list. The first one without a single missed mention on it. And hopefully, the first of many. The road here has been long, yet fruitful all the same. And as such, I cannot stop but feel joy at the hard work of those making this game easier to enjoy for everyone in the world. Yes, not everyone speaks English, but they could have left it in Japanese and no one would have cared. Yet they did. They cared. And for that, I will forever be thankful. What do you think? Do you think other voices deserve the first spot? Be sure to share your commentaries down below, as I never call myself an authority on voice acting. These are just my opinions, as valid as anyone else's. But for now, my opinion ends here, as the year on its last month. Regardless, I wish you all a great day, and as always, stay healthy everyone.